Hello and welcome back everyone. So this is our last video lecture since we have covered all the concepts that were under this chapter number 15. I'm going to do a quick revision with you all to summarize all these concepts. So let's do it. Let's recap. First of all, we studied about the graphical presentation of data and we saw that graphical representation is very important because it helps us to easily understand the given data. Then we read about a bar graph that is used to show the comparison among categories. We read about the pie graph, or it is also known as circle graph, and show that how it is used to compare parts of a whole. And a histogram is also a bar graph which shows data in intervals. We read that histogram. In histogram also we use vertical bars to represent data, but we do not have any gap between these bars, and we have class intervals in histograms, that is unlike in bar graphs. Further, we read about line graph, which displays the data that changes continuously over periods of time. So line graph is that graph that displays that kind of data that changes its value continuously over periods of time. A line graph, which is a whole unbroken line, is called a linear graph. So then we studied about linear graphs and did some examples. What are linear graphs actually? So basically linear graphs is a line graph. So a line graph can be called a linear graph if the line graph is a whole unbroken line. There is no break in that line graph. For fixing a point on the graph sheet, we need x coordinate and y coordinate. So I told you how you can locate a point. How can you find the position of a point? So for fixing a point on the graph sheet, we need its x coordinate and the value of its y coordinate as well. And you get this x comma y, your coordinates for that point. So if you have the coordinates, you can easily fix that point. You can easily find the location and plot that point on the graph sheet. And then we learned about the dependent and independent variables, and we saw that the relation between dependent and independent variables is shown through a graph. We did those graphs and the examples related to it as well. So this was about everything about this whole chapter. I hope you have understood all the concepts. If not, you can go back to that video and watch it again and do as many questions as you want in order to practice more and get your concepts clear. I'll meet you all for the next chapter. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.